us in, babe.
Welcome to Coco Caliente.
Let me adjust your volume now.
No, leave it the same.
She hates when I mess with her volume. It's like one of Nicole's biggest pet peeves while we're podcasting.
Yeah, he just sits there and turns knobs. It's like, quit turning knobs. He does it. Victor, turn it off.
Okay, I'll leave it alone. All right, so we survived another leg.
Yeah, we did.
And we survived our first U-turn.
But I think, we made it by the skin of our teeth.
Yes, we did.
And seeing your face on the U-turn board feels so bad.
It is,
you know you're behind.
It's one of the toughest things to, yeah, exactly. You know you're already behind, obviously, because and having to go back and do, the thing is, this made it for the worst, and we get into this with Floyd, but it made us for the worst possible U-turn scenario because we can only go anywhere by bicycle.
Yeah, true.
And they're
like miles away.
I was about to say at least 2 miles away, or more, and on a tandem bike. And I mean, it's...
Yeah, most legs you can hop in a taxi.
Yeah.
Or they're right next to each other. When we saw our face on the U-turn board, we already knew 3 teams were ahead of us, which really stunk. Mm-hmm. And then we did know, I know people were asking, did we know that Team Fun was the only team behind us? Yes, we did. And it was really hard to U-turn them, but it was either let's just not U-turn them and get out or U-turn them because they were our friends. And we actually passed them at one point on the bikes and we say, we're really sorry. And they're obviously very mad and frustrated with us. But had, the Afghanimal said sorry to us, we probably would have been we're very frustrated with you too.
No, thank you on the apology.
But do we take this as... so Afghanimals had 2 choices. They even said Afghanimals or Team Fun or us. They chose us, they say, because of the U-turn vote. Yeah. But at the same time, I definitely think that people saw us as a threat, and I kind of they take it when people U-turn them as
a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And then the fact that we caught up with the Afghanimals later.
Hilarious. So good thing they did U-turn us because they probably would have been out.
Exactly. And yeah, it was just one of those and I was so tired. We were both so tired. We biked so much, and it was just an exhausting my legs cramped up bad, and again, it was just, I don't know, it was just an intense
We got
leg.
lost on the tandem bike for about an hour and a half. We definitely thought we were out. And then when Team Fun broke their egg, it was a complete game changer for us. But so Victor didn't pedal because he didn't want, I guess Team Fun put their eggs in the back in the basket with grass where I carried them. So I didn't want my knee to hit them. So Vic didn't make me pedal, but we didn't know we were going to be U-turned and have to pedal
back and forth again and then be lost for all that time.
So that was hard.
And as a treat for you guys, we always have guests on the show. So we actually talked with Floyd when we were in Denver, Colorado, before this episode actually even aired.
Yeah, a month ago at least.
Yeah, so we're going based off what we remember and how we know everything happened. And so you'll hear a little bit with him first. It's actually a good,
because we don't know what they're going to show at that point.
Yeah, we didn't know. So you'll hear us saying that, hey, we haven't even watched the show, but this is what happened. And then after Floyd, we're going to hop on a call with Becca and just kind of recap what happened last night on the show.
And can we talk about a little bit more about us first?
Go ahead.
So also, I was thinking, we broke up from the pack, which is very dangerous. And I think we knew that one cow detour was really, really hard to find. And I think even Christy and Colin passed it, but then Tyler and Corey are like, hey, it's right here. So they turned around. We passed it. Team Fun passed it. It was very in disguise.
Yeah, it looks like the only team that actually found it was Tyler and Corey because even the Afghanimals saw the other teams there.
Yeah, okay, so
it's
that
not
helps,
like they even found it. You know what I mean?
So Vic and I just decided to go on our own, do our own detour, and we were by ourselves the entire leg, and that changes so much. Even in the car, driving after we did the cow, and driving from the cow to the boats. Yeah. We did stop and ask for directions a couple times, but thinking about it, it was a 35-minute drive, and that was scary. It was down just like roads where I live. That's just farms and
yeah, it's literally what you'll be driving like straight for like 10 miles, and then there's a road, and I don't know if that's the road or not the road, and then you keep going. There's not another turn for a lot of miles. So you really, if you got that wrong, I mean, that would have been a big deal.
And so breaking up from the pack, if you're ever going to be in the race, I would suggest not doing that. I'm not really quite sure why Vic and I felt so confident to do so, but we literally ran that leg like solo. And then had we stayed with and got the cow and went with them right away, who knows? Like, we might not have been U-turned because we might have all been at the board at the same time. Or, you know what I mean? Like, me not being able to jump that ditch was a huge, like, we couldn't, we were behind then, but had we stayed together, it's like a different feeling, like you're working with a pack. We were together at the U-turn board last time. Yeah. With a couple teams. And it's just like, you're just looking at them like, please don't U-turn us, and they kind of feel bad and they won't. So, I mean, it's crazy. We made it through, but just changing your detour it's a game changer.
Yeah, and hindsight is always 20/20, right? And so at that point, the Afghanimals weren't there, right? So if we would have just stayed with Colin and Christy, we would have did the cows first with Tyler and Corey.
And you wouldn't have been tired, and you would have been able to lift the cow. Like, you couldn't lift the cow by yourself because we were lost for an hour and a half. We had been already doing the ditch with the eggs, and I mean, you were exhausted. So that would have been the only thing you had to do all day.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, but it gave us the full experience, because now we've been in last place. We got the non-elimination. Now we've survived a U-turn.
We barely got flights the previous episode.
We're really getting the full Amazing Race
and surviving
experience.
A U-turn, I think, makes you an official Amazing Race team. So now I consider us an official race team.
We're vets now.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
yeah, that's awesome. But anyways, so now we got that out of the way.
Reviews. Oh, we do those at the end.
We're going to do that at the end.
Whoops.
All right, so now I hope you guys enjoy the conversation with Becca and Floyd, Team Fun. So we have a very fun, I guess is the best way to describe guest with us right now. I'm sad we don't have the other half, but we will, right? We'll give her a call, but we're in Denver, and we were able to have Floyd Pierce on the show, Amazing Race 31 and 29. A pleasure. You're awesome. And I'll start right away by saying we're so sorry.
There's no hard feelings.
And it's just it was a matter of, if we don't,
you made the right decision. You made the right decision.
But but before we get into that, first
let's talk about season 29. Yeah. So how did you get on the Amazing Race?
So it started. I was a junior in college, right? And I applied to the Amazing Race because I was finally 21. Because I was 20 when I first applied.
You have to be 21.
You said you were a fan of the show.
Yeah, I watched it since I was in elementary school. So then I applied with it with a friend, or applied for the show with a friend, my junior year of college, and submitted the video and whatever. And then 3 months later, they were like, so this is awkward, but we want you, but not your friend.
And I was
like,
God.
Shoot.
Yeah. How did you have that conversation?
So he wasn't as much of a fan of the show, and he was like, of course you have to do it. It's your dream, right? So it was a fun conversation. And then, just go through casting.
So did you know, were you kind of like, why don't they want me to have a partner?
No, they told us right away it was going to be we're trying something new and different, doing an all-stranger season. So we knew.
That's got to be so crazy to think about. You're going to race the world with someone that you don't know.
It was weird. And going through casting and seeing all the random personality types. Yeah. So, and what was cool is in the casting process, we had this big meeting with 50 of the finalists in this hotel room, but me and Becca sat right next to each other.
No, really?
Yeah, I remember that vividly.
So
we probably were not thinking about each other at all.
Vibing off each other though, maybe a little.
I don't know. Clearly.
Yeah. So how did it happen? I kind of saw the clip from our season. When it showed you guys teaming up. Yeah. So you got to pick. She picked you, or
so there was this challenge where we had to run through LA to find this suitcase shop and get a suitcase with the Panamanian flag.
Okay.
So then based on the order we arrived back from that challenge was the order we got to pick our partners. I would have been back within the first 5, not to brag, but I got super lost on the way back. So I came in 12th, and she was 5th. So then or 6th or something. So then she chose me.
Nice. Is that who you were going to choose too?
We don't have to say that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, but that's and what are the odds that you guys would be from the same?
It's ridiculous.
That's so weird.
Well, and I bet like production was like, "Oh my god, like we did it! It happened!"
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy.
Because you guys have the same kind of hobbies too.
Yeah, like we're both very musical. We learned in like leg 4 that we could both juggle. Like while we were trying to pass the time at a pit stop, we just like started doing that, and we're like, "Well, that's weird."
Watching you guys on the race juggle was something for me. It was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I mean, you guys would do it in the airports all the time, and one of my hobbies was watching you guys do your hobby. Like it was really cool. And you guys tried to teach me some stuff, which was fun.
That clip's on YouTube. Yeah, you can watch it.
Oh, it is. I didn't even know that.
Oh
my gosh, I got to look at that. And then we also played hacky sack, which is fun. No, you guys, and how did everything about you guys is fun?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how do you keep that up?
Well, honestly, like, part of it is just I'm, like, terrified the entire time. So, like, that's how I express my fear and, like, deal with it. It's just, like, laughing, like, through the tears.
So you are scared. I mean, like, nervous.
Well, yeah. I mean, who's not nervous?
That's what I'm saying, because
I mean?
watch you guys, and I'm like, my God, I look like a grumpy old woman. And they're like, yeah, this is so fun. I'm like, what is going on?
No, we're scared. But, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's just who we are, I guess. I don't really have a
That's how you
answer.
that's how you express it.
Yeah.
It's just, like, laugh it off. And,
It's good stuff.
And I know, I don't know if you mind, but your girlfriend's here with us, right? So
Kayla.
Hi, Kayla. How does she feel about you being paired with a female partner?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never been an issue.
Okay, the trust
weird.
is there. So
the trust is 100% there.
Oh, then that's awesome.
Yeah, Becca and I don't have any romantic interests. You know?
Well, no, I feel like a lot of people ask me, are they dating? I'm like, no, they're not dating.
Every week,
like,
someone on Instagram is like, why aren't you guys dating? Like, you'd be so cute. And I'm like, it's fine.
It's completely okay. I have a girlfriend that I love. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's cool. That's cool. And coming into this season, were you, because that's what Nicole was saying, like, you guys, watching you guys was almost frustrating for us because, like she said, so happy, so whatever.
Okay, I wasn't frustrated with watching you guys. I was just like, man, I want to like be like that.
Aww,
you know, like I want to be like fun to watch.
A little envious in a good way.
Yeah.
But like you guys are like also like incredible. Like we're jealous of you. Like, we wanted to get you out.
You guys, that's hilarious. So how does it feel coming on? This is your second time. You guys get a call back. You're coming back on.
Yeah.
And you're against like Big Brother and Survivor people. Did you take us like seriously?
Oh, 100%.
Or you did?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like people, like you saw in our cast text, people made, or I don't know if they put in the text, but people made fun of me because I was the only on their bios, like which show has the biggest advantage or whatever.
Yeah.
I was the only one who didn't say racers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I did, yeah. But I don't know because like Big Brother and Survivor are just completely different experiences.
Yeah.
And each show has their strengths, right?
Yeah,
so like I feel like Survivors like have that like, I don't know, physical and like grit.
Right, yeah,
Big
for
Brother has
sure.
that social game and also physical grit, to be honest with you. So like I wasn't just gonna like sleep on those teams. You know?
And I kind of felt, I mean, I was very intimidated by the race teams. Not so much the other teams, I guess. I don't know. But I was I was very, the fact that you guys had done this before and you guys were all like cream of the crop, like picks. It was like really good teams, and I could just see the confidence radiating out of you guys. I'm like, there's 5 of them. They're going to create an alliance. I mean, look at us. Like, we don't know what we're doing. So I just try to stay like humble and under the radar, which is what I do in Big Brother as well.
Yeah. And you guys were fairly fresh too. You've been, what, 2 seasons out, right?
Like 2016 is when we did it the first time.
Yeah, so I mean, that's not too far off from doing that. So I guess that must have been like super exciting. Like, were you even expecting a call?
I mean, we figured we had a good shot at coming back on the show, but you also don't want to be like cocky, right? Like, who in the world like is sitting there expecting to get called back on TV? Is like, so like we weren't like letting that dominate our life, but we
knew
were
it
kind
was
of
a possibility.
Yeah, we knew it was a possibility.
And let our listeners know, especially let's say if this is their first time watching, what happened to you in Vietnam the first time?
Yeah, so it was leg 10, season 29, and basically I was doing this roadblock where I had to like bike a mile down a road with like 100 shrimp traps loaded on this bicycle. So like my balance sucked. I couldn't balance on this bicycle. I was like basically walking it, and I was doing that roadblock for essentially 4 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And it was taking me so long because these traps are falling off the bike and all this stuff. And eventually, like in the middle of the challenge, I started getting heat stroke, essentially. And then so eventually when I finished it, we were biking to our next challenge. I fell off my bike like 6 times before like race. Like the medical staff was like, okay, you need to sit down. Like something's really wrong. And I was overheating, and it was like, I don't know. Like, there's a part of my memory that's like actually blank, like a good 30 minutes to an hour that I just don't remember.
Oh,
That's
wow.
so scary.
Yeah, so
That is-
it's pretty serious.
Yeah.
That is really, and you lost your passport that season too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
But you got through that.
Yeah, luckily Abdul was our taxi driver who saved our lives. Thank God.
You won't forget his name.
Oh my gosh.
Coco Caliente is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of amazing classes covering dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills. Which, for you, Nicole, that's perfect because what's something that you've been talking about you want to learn more?
I want to learn how to take better photography. So you can take classes in everything from photography to creative writing to design to productivity and more.
So it's like one of those things, continuing learning is the best thing that you can do. And especially if there's some passion of yours that you want to get better at, I mean, Skillshare is the way to go. And so, join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for our listeners. Get 2 months of Skillshare for free.
That's right. Skillshare is offering Coco Caliente listeners 2 months of unlimited access to thousands of classes for free.
To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/Coco. Again, go to Skillshare.com/Coco to start your 2 months now. That's Skillshare.com/Coco. And then so now we skip to, and I'll let you know that Nicole and I throughout the race, we were intimidated by you guys.
Yeah.
Like we were like, but we liked you guys too. So it's not like we didn't
not
want
a bad intimidation.
Yeah, not a bad like we didn't want.
We just knew you guys would be really good.
Yeah.
I hope so.
But then we also liked you guys a lot, right? So it was like one of those like we're competing against you guys. Like if we can help you without like losing our spot, we would. Right. But at the same time, you guys never needed the help because you guys were so good. I guess. Right. So it was so when we get to with this episode in what is it Netherlands?
Yeah,
where we were?
Netherlands.
In the Netherlands. It was hard. It was hard getting to that. Well, to preface this, anybody listening, we haven't seen the episode. Yeah, right? It hasn't come. It hasn't come out, so we haven't seen it.
But we know.
We know.
We remember.
What happened.
And Nicole and I, we bring our eggs because we did the roadblock where we have to. Actually, is it a detour? We did the detour where we had a pole vault, which Nicole
face planted it. Just wait for that, people.
She ate it.
It's okay. I wasn't graceful either.
In the mud, and it was so funny. But when we went and turned in the eggs, we saw everybody biking away, and so we followed them, right? And then they look at us like with this blank stare, and like, you've been U-turned.
Yeah, and we're like, wait, what?
Oh, so you were following them to the...
Yes. They could have screwed us over.
They could have let us follow them.
Yeah, so you guys had like an alliance going, right? An Amazing Race kind of alliance?
No, like, not really.
I mean, that's kind of what it was kind of feeling like. And then in our interviews, it felt like that too.
We wanted to have an alliance with Tyler and Corey. And like I'd been like texting Corey before the race and stuff, so we kind of thought we were going to come into that. But it never really materialized. Yeah. Like we never really raced together. So we didn't really officially have we kind of were homies with the Afghanimals.
Okay.
But we never officially like contractually like we have an alliance, you know?
So anyways, we just literally were like, we had smiles on our faces. We're like, hey guys.
Like, hey, we caught up.
And they're like, you got U-turned. We're like, what? We didn't even see the U-turn. We're like, go back. You got U-turned. And then I was like, what? And they're like, U-turn Team Fun. They're behind us. We're like, okay,
Man. I honestly think there's I think they did that intentionally. Like, we haven't seen the episode.
No. But we didn't know. The thing is we didn't know you guys were behind us.
Yeah.
So had we gotten to the U-turn board, and they actually saved our lives.
Yeah, because we could have U-turned somebody that's ahead of us, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, we wouldn't have known.
But it was so frustrating for us because when we got, we had to pick you guys, and it hurt, right? It hurt because we liked you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And
we
then
felt really bad.
seeing you guys going back passing us and actually getting to your next, detour, we were lost.
We got lost for an hour and a half on that dang bike.
Yeah, we got lost for a long time.
And we felt like, I honestly felt like, oh my God, I just U-turned like America's favorites. I deserve to go out right now. And so I was like withdrawn.
And it was her birthday.
It was my birthday.
Oh,
and we had passed you guys and we're like, we're really sorry.
Yeah.
We're lost. We're like, we're really sorry. You guys are like standoffish. Like, I'm like, oh my God.
The first time we passed you after you U-turned us, we didn't know.
But the second time, when you were at the actual detour, of course you were mad at me. I would be mad at me too.
I wasn't
but
mad.
I
I was
like,
probably just exhausted, honestly.
I was like, Vic, I feel so bad. And we're still lost.
And I didn't even want to look at you guys when you guys passed us the first time because I just knew in my soul.
You just knew.
It was just like, oh my God, I don't even have the heart to just look that way.
Anyways, so
when we head back, and we figure out after the fact the cow thing would have been a lot easier, right?
Yeah, 100%.
and we're doing the cow. My legs completely cramped up. Nicole had to run up the stairs for me to go get the clue, and we didn't know at that point that you guys had to turn around.
No, I didn't. We didn't see you guys.
What
pass
happened?
Us.
Like, what happened with the pole vaulting situation?
So basically, we get to the pole vault. We do it the first time, right?
Yeah.
So like, I pole vault, not too graceful. Becca pole vault's like gangster, like of course. Right? So like, I got the cheese, she got the eggs. So basically, she pole vaulted over with the eggs, and I guess she didn't realize that some of the eggs had cracked when she like landed, and she like checked them, but I don't think she checked them out thoroughly.
Yeah.
So we get all the way back to town and like turn in our eggs, and we like literally the first egg we take out of the bag just has like this crack on the side.
It wasn't even yolk or anything. It just
it was just
wow.
cracked.
So they're strict about it.
They had to be perfect. And we were like, oh my God, we're going to have to bike like all 4 miles back and do it all over again. And so that's exactly what we did. It's heartbreaking. It's good TV.
What happened to us, like when Nicole, she couldn't, it was funny watching.
I didn't have the cheese or the eggs.
I had I stuffed both cheese in each of my pockets. So it was like huge. And then I had the eggs in one hand, pole vaulting with one hand. And then I checked and I was like, but I told Nicole, I was like, don't even pedal. Like, hold the eggs.
Because he was afraid that my knee would like come up and hit the eggs.
And like hit the egg
I'm
so
clumsy.
In the basket behind you, though?
We didn't put them in the basket. He made me hold them like a baby.
We like put a bunch of grass and like took some of our clothes and like made a nest for the eggs.
Smart.
Yeah,
and so my problem was that by the time after doing that whole circuit and having to come back, my legs, stiffed up.
We
like
didn't
a
expect
board.
it. He didn't make me pedal with the eggs, and we didn't know we were going to have to go back and do the other detour.
Yeah.
So, but then when we got lost and did the other detour, he was like out for a little bit with medical because his legs were.
Serious?
My legs were. They had to give me all types of electrolytes and everything. My legs. I'm telling you, I told Nicole, I was like,
and then he had to drive stick shift because I can't.
She can't drive.
I'm useless.
So when we got to the boats, I was like, thank God that I can just sit. Yeah. Right, because if I had to do anything else,
that was like the worst leg to get U-turned on. Honestly.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Like
what were they? Because we could only travel by bike.
Yeah,
by bike, and then a long drive, and then the boats in the canal. So how did you guys? After that, after you saw, you had to go back. Like, what was your demeanor like after that? It was.
Honestly, like when I first saw we were U-turned, I was like, okay, this is our third time being U-turned. We've survived the other two, right? So I was like, I know we can do it. I don't know what our demeanor. You just have to be positive. Like, you're not out until you're out. Yeah. And like even when we were in the boats, we like had this like optimism. They were like, man,
a head to head or something.
Or I don't know, or just like that teams got lost. Oh, like we were the Afghanimals got lost. Like they like missed the turn and like we're in that canal area for 3.
Did you guys see them?
No, we never saw them.
The Afghanimals U-turned them when we got to the boats. We saw them.
Oh my God!
And they had like the eyes of like
they're panicked.
Oh my! If I hadn't, like almost thankful that we U-turned you guys because you guys caught up.
Yeah. Dang. That's crazy. But you didn't. How close were you, like, to finishing behind them?
We had maybe one boat and they had 2.
Oh, okay.
But then they disappeared. Like they had missed a boat, so they had to come back. So they knew what they were doing, but they were running on foot looking for the boat.
Oh,
like
really?
When we saw them,
they just like left their boat in the canal.
And then which I didn't even think you could do. Then they saw us and they were like panicked and they were like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Yes, we're coming for you."
That must have been so sweet. That was felt great.
And how did this experience compare to your last one?
Oh yeah, this one's like so much better than not that the first one was bad. Yeah. Like I loved it, right? But like this one was just like so cool. I thought the challenges were all better. I thought the cast was just like so cool.
Yeah.
It just felt like a more immersive and like really. What's the word? I don't know, unique or like it it's just like I felt like the experiences we had in these countries were just like truly novel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I'd appreciate that, and I was just we're on it twice. Like this is my biggest
awesome.
dream.
Who
like,
gets to do that?
Exactly. So I
How thick is your passport now?
It's pretty thick, and I still have it. I didn't lose it.
It's the same one. It's the same one from that's awesome.
It looks good.
Where's your favorite place out of everywhere that you've gone?
That's tough. I don't know. Norway. We went Norway in our first season. It's like a fairy tale. Like probably where all of Disney is inspired is like that single country. I mean, I think. I don't know. And then Dubai was actually really tight. I love cities like
I feel
big
like
cities
I like
that.
the place if we had like a good leg.
Yeah,
like I base it on that because I really loved Switzerland, even though we ran a bad leg there. But
Switzerland was.
It was
pretty.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Norway is a lot like Switzerland.
Yeah, I kind of felt like fake. It was so perfect.
Yeah.
The air was crisp. Like everyone was like perfect.
Yeah.
Well, my thing with Dubai was it was like 110 degrees at night.
Yeah.
You know, that was like.
Which detour did you do? Did you do the dinosaur one?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So like it sucked. That weather.
That was so bad. That was I you know what? None of that has come out yet. So I am just we're nervous to see what that because
I was yelling at him because he couldn't hear me.
Well,
and he was just running. And
because all you hear in the suit is.
That was our worst episode. Probably like most fight. We butt heads big time.
Oh, it's okay.
And this and that Vietnam episode, you guys crushed it.
Oh, thanks. That was fun.
Oh my gosh, was that like a breeze for you guys?
Maybe.
I mean, it was just like every challenge there was like a dream. Like I like grew up like low key wanting to be a dancer.
Yeah.
Like I never pursued it, but like I kind of tried. Yeah. So like getting to do like a dance challenge with a dance crew was like literally one of my top 3 dreams.
Yeah, seeing you put on the neon suit and you're just like, oh my gosh,
I literally was so excited. I was like, this is the jam. And then karaoke was like, okay, I can do that.
Super easy.
So
and you were a drum major before, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of dancing and
I mean it's like it varies per college, but it's a lot of like showmanship, a lot of rhythm, just being a performer. So it just like really played into that leg. 100%. Yeah.
Being a 2-time racer, a lot of people ask us what they would pack, what you should pack. So what are some? We packed terribly. We didn't know what we were doing.
We did a bad job.
So
we threw a lot of stuff away.
What would you say like that you packed again the second time that you're like I really need it, or did you just?
I think
basics?
Like one of the biggest things is like REI has this like little, it's like pack of gum sized, and they're like laundry slips.
Oh.
And so like you basically it's like this single sheet, and you like it dissolves in your sink and like creates like enough detergent to like do your laundry.
We ran out of detergent after like 2 legs.
Yeah, so it's like it literally weighs like a gram, but it's like good for like 50 loads of laundry.
Let's tell people that. So you can't. There's no. I mean. You can use your leg money to wash your clothes, or you wash it yourself, which is what you should do. And then you wrap it up in a towel to dry it. You know, so that because we were just using soap.
At the end, we ran out.
I mean, it works. Whatever you have to do, it's like there's no
it still
right
smelled
or wrong
like
way.
fish for several weeks.
But those guts from Laos.
Well, after Uganda, we just paid. We were like, we're spending our money on our laundry.
Uganda was bad too because of the mud from stacking that wood.
We were just like, we're gonna do it. So it was fine.
And then other than that, just like a couple shirts, like you just pack basic
just
stuff.
packed so little. You know, you don't really need to. Like I think Tyler and Corey packed like 2 outfits total.
I know, and I wish I would
because they were team like the black and everything, and that's easy to wear. We had a purple, so it was like it was tough to find.
Like the right gear.
Like, there's not a lot of purple stuff.
Well, you didn't have to like perfectly stick to your color.
No, we thought we didn't know.
Okay. They call us every outfit had to be purple.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. When we saw they're not even wearing their colors.
Yeah.
We did not know that wasn't a thing.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
And I made the mistake of wearing a cotton shirt the first day.
Oh, shoot.
And so that was horrible.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no.
I threw that shirt away.
If we went back again, I feel like we would there's so many things we would do differently. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we always picked the right roadblocks for each other, but other than that,
I mean, you killed it. Like you got like second, like 3 legs in a row, 3 or 4 legs in a row. So like you had a great showing.
No, it was a fun experience.
Yeah, that's good.
And so, what does Floyd do for a living?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do, bud?
So I live in Colorado. Mm-hmm. I live in Broomfield. I work at an investment advisory firm in Boulder.
Oh,
so we manage people's money and nonprofits money. So like I work as a client service manager. So I'm like at that like administrative role, doing like a lot of reporting and client facing. It's fun. Yeah. I'm studying for the CFA. which is like the Chartered Financial Analyst designation. So I took level 1 and passed that this past December. And then I was going to take level 2 like this June, but since I'm like on TV, I don't want to be like studying for an exam. So I'll take that next year because it's only offered once a year.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Cool.
Yeah, I got my bachelor's in finance.
Oh, really?
So
Okay, good stuff.
But I completely went a different route.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, if you guys need a good financial advisor, Floyd.
Yeah, Floyd Pierce. I can direct you to someone else, not me.
So what do you think the future holds? Do you think you'll ever go on the race again, or you think you're done with TV?
I mean, if whatever they want me to do, if they ask me to do it, of course I'll do it again.
Yeah.
It's one of those things though. It's like I feel selfish like doing it 3 times. When
but not really, because it's like people love to watch you, so that's why you're coming back.
Right. So
they want to like live through you. Like, I mean, when I watch you, I'm like,
you're like vicariously just like, oh, this is awesome. You know.
So if they want us back, we're definitely coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what Do
you guys train in the off season? I mean, are you guys training right now?
I mean, we're trying to stay in shape. Like, it's just like a good thing to do in your life in general. But like, as I exercise, I think about it. I'm like, okay, it's gonna pay off like 5 years from now when I'm back for Amazing Race 40. You know, so.
Do you and Becca hang out since you guys both? You guys live kind of close,
right?
Yeah,
we live in Boulder, so I moved to Broomfield, but we're both in the same area of Colorado. So.
And she travels a ton though, so she's like gone all the time.
Especially recently.
I know,
like, a lot recently.
Trying to catch her, and she's always gone in the wind.
Yeah, doing climbing stuff all over the nation. But yeah, we hang out, do stuff.
Yeah, her Instagram is crazy. Like all this stuff she does, I'm like, oh my gosh, scary. But no wonder why she's so good at like climbing and all, like all the challenges.
She had more muscles than I did on the show. And man, she's freaking lean. And
100%.
No, she's a gangster. So we like each other, and we're trying to do stuff. We're trying to do like some speaking engagements. We might try to do like TED Boulder.
Oh, do you guys have
TED Talks.
And you have a YouTube?
We have a YouTube channel, so we do a lot of recaps on there.
We can talk. But this is going to be out kind of late, but. Talk about they can go back and watch them.
Yeah, they can.
So you can talk about it.
What's it like? What's the YouTube channel called?
It's just called Team Fun. You know, trying to make sure people can find it.
Yeah.
And really, all we do is we have like some fun stuff, like our audition videos or times of us hanging out. But the main thing is like us just recapping all of our episodes from season 29 and then this season.
That's cool.
So we just give our perspective. You know, have our fun, playful banter.
And you guys are trying to do TED Boulder, you said.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Like
TED Talks are. I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. So what would you guys like to talk about?
I mean, we're still kind of trying to figure that out, but we just think it's funny because a lot of people are inspired by our story of how like. Again, we were strangers and like honestly, we were very different people. Like people think we're really similar, but like 2 different backgrounds, like 2 very different like worldviews even. But we like mesh so well together, and we think there's something important to that story that we kind of want to like share with people and show like it can work, especially in like today's world.
Yeah.
Everyone's so
yeah.
So like we're still trying to work it out, but and not just TED Talks. We're like looking to do. We actually have some other plans for other speaking engagements with other organizations and stuff. But
that's awesome.
Well, that's cool. Well, if you guys want to check them out, Team Fun on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you guys have an Instagram together too?
Yeah. So we have individual Instagrams. Mine's Floyd JP3. Hers is Becca_beatbox, and then our joint is The Real Team Fun.
The Real
that's
Team
cool.
Fun.
You have a joint one. I love that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. That doesn't have as many followers as our individual ones.
But you know what?
Cool.
That's where you express yourself, and it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we talk about all the time. Like a lot of times, we'd rather just post a picture that's like really nice, like flowers or whatever.
Yeah.
But that gets not nearly as many likes as if it's just you and me or just you. You know.
And so I like to have our podcast page because I get to post like the quotes and like the stuff that. It's like inspiring and all that type of thing, rather than get judged for like, oh, why are you posting that? It's not good content.
Yeah.
Whereas really, I don't give a crap. I really want to post what I want to post.
Yeah.
So it's fun to have like that outlet to like do whatever you want.
Well, I mean, I guess unless you have anything else, I really appreciate any last words. Yeah, last words for anybody listening.
I don't know. It's tough.
Anybody that wants to get on the race, what's your advice for them?
Honestly, just be yourself. You know, don't be afraid. Like, you'll see people on TV and you feel like you have to look a certain way or act a certain way or be a certain way, but they're like not looking for... They don't know what they're looking for until they meet you.
Yeah.
Is honestly what it is.
True.
So just be yourself and, just have fun.
Yeah, because otherwise if you're trying to pretend to be someone else, it's exhausting.
It's really exhausting.
You can't keep it up, and then it's just like, nah.
Yeah, and if you're focused on that, you're not going to win. So
Yeah.
that's the point.
There's no time for that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's nice talking to people, and we got to race with you, so it's nice seeing you outside of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we really appreciate that.
Oh, thanks.
So I wanted to talk to you guys, anybody that's listening right now that has something blocking your happiness or has something that's been bugging you or in your head, something that you need to talk to somebody about. They have this place or this site. It's called BetterHelp. What it is, it's an online platform that'll connect you to counselors that are in all 50 states that have over 3,000 U.S. licensed therapists, and you can talk with them about anything, and it's private. It could be from depression to stress and anxiety to relationships, grief, or even self-esteem. They're available worldwide. They got 4 communication modes. You can text, chat, phone, and video, and you can start communicating in under 24 hours. They have a broad expertise in the network, which may not be typically locally available in your area. They also have financial aid for those who qualify. It's secure, convenient, professional, and affordable. Best of all, it's truly affordable if you use for these Coco Caliente listeners right now. So you can get 10% off your first month with discount code COCO, COCO. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/Coco.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Becca.
Hi.
Welcome to Coco Caliente.
Coco Caliente.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Is Floyd here?
No. So we actually podcasted with Floyd about a month or so
Remember
ago.
when we went to Denver and then you went on a cool trip? Well, we
Yes.
met up with Floyd and his girlfriend, and we podcasted there what we thought would be seen on TV.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of fun, team fun, Becca _beatbox, right?
Yep.
So I'm just gonna hop right into it. Before we get into like the race itself, I want to know who was Becca or what was Becca doing before reality TV, happened, and how that even all happened.
So Becca's life before reality TV wasn't too different than post-reality TV, but definitely, I definitely think there's more opportunities that have come my way, or like my credibility is built post-reality TV. But before, well, the way it came to be was that it was like a childhood dream of mine. And when I watched the show when I was 11 years old and all through high school religiously,
Wow.
I was just watching it and taking mental note of like the mistakes folks were making and how I wanted to play the game. And I was like in constant research of it. And then all of my life was honestly, and like I've been talking about it a lot recently, but it was rather built around the idea that someday I was going to be on The Amazing Race. And so if an opportunity would arise, I would say yes, because maybe that little task would, because, you always hear people say, well, this one time someone invited me to do this random activity and it really helped me on this challenge, is that real? I don't know. But I had the idea that it was. And so I think I was bred to be a yes person and to kind of push myself in challenging situations, wondering in the back of my head, if this were an Amazing Race challenge, would I be able to push a little harder? Would I be able to bike up this hill a little bit faster? Yeah. Would I be able to put these things in this box a little bit more efficiently? Just little things like that. But in terms of actually what my daily life has been looking like is pretty. Yeah, I've never really had much of a 9-to-5 gig, though I guess now post-race I'm really much more out of that since Floyd and I are trying to move into speaking gigs more and leave room for developing that. Before race I was baristaing more, making those lattes, steaming up that milk, You're
the really happy-go-lucky person making the I like your type. I like your type.
Yeah, for sure.
I wasn't too ecstatic as a barista actually. I really don't. I don't enjoy robotic interactions very much, and that's just kind of what service industry is.
Yeah.
And then my main thing is teaching rock climbing, which I've been doing now for 4 years, pretty consistently. I teach outdoors with a nonprofit in Boulder called Women's Wilderness, and we take women outside for intro days and then girls trips I get to go in and like lead the rock climbing day of like a multi-day backpacking trip or outdoor trip. And then I also teach in a climbing gym, mostly focusing on, women's programming and creating women's climbing community and building that up and just creating space for it, which is really fun and awesome. Mm-hmm. And I get to like bring something I love so much, which is climbing, and just share that with lots of people. So,
and that definitely helps you on the race, I feel like.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're pretty BA. You look at, your Instagram, you're always climbing something crazy or doing something crazy. And I mean, you're pretty ripped too, because you do a lot of climbing. I mean, you're very intimidating in that respect.
No, for sure. Sure.
And so, no, props to you, because that's not something that everybody can do. You know what I mean? I see you doing like a Ninja Warrior type thing.
Yeah.
And I think you would thrive doing that. And I just think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know if Ninja Warrior is for me, but
never know.
And
you never know.
Are you still doing? Because when we try to go see you in Boulder, you were traveling. Are you still doing like your nomadic traveling from place to place?
So Becca is getting grounded.
Oh.
Yeah, I moved out of my van, which I was living in for about a year.
Wow.
And like starting pretty much as soon as I got back from the race. And I have signed a lease that starts in August.
Wow.
A whole year. Yeah.
Wow. That's a commitment.
It was hard for me to come to terms with. Kept getting cold feet about it, but I feel like now having more of a foundation helps me like put more energy into all the other things that I want to be focusing on. Mm-hmm. So it's actually, even though it costs money to, to live somewhere, what do we all love? Money.
Yeah.
I think it's really going to be good for me.
Well, that's awesome, and we're happy for you. I mean, I've been in that thought process, right? The realization of like, all right, now I got lease and month by month, and that stability. Because I used to be like that. I'd just up and leave all the time, and then I'd get into those like deep philosophical conversations, like, what is money? Do I need material things? Why a 9 to 5? Am I just working to build credit, to use credit, to what I mean? Like you get into all those deep rabbit hole thoughts.
Right. Like how much is what this society has taught me is what I need to do actually true. And like there is a component of it that like, you kind of have to buy into to live in this world. Yeah. Which is, but I am definitely trying to find an alternative way to live in this world.
Yeah.
Fine, and if you can translate that into like doing something you love, like if you found your own rock climbing gym and you have your own business doing something like that, that'd be kind of like the happy medium there, right? But anyways, now transitioning back into the race.
The Rising Rise.
Yeah. Last night was a tough episode to watch, just because it was tough for both of us.
That was a tough leg.
It was.
It was a really tough leg, and kind of just like talk me through, or talk us through what was going on, like what you were thinking throughout that.
Throughout watching it or throughout the experience?
I guess both, like I know like being there is one thing.
They didn't show because there's a lot that didn't show how actual stressful it was and like how far away the detours were. It wasn't like just bike pedaling, like it was probably a couple miles.
Yeah, they showed the bike
like a 20-minute bike ride.
Yeah, of pedaling very fast.
Yeah. And like every single time, almost every time I've been on my bike since, or like if like the weather's right and the breeze is right, and like I get these like kind of like flashbacks to the feeling of like biking through the Netherlands and just feeling like so stressed and just remember pushing so hard every second, just like that. Yeah, like my previous self thinking like, could I push harder? Just every single second pushing. And I could definitely see some of my stress, but they try and, add the team fun spirit in there. Yeah. But that's what go ahead.
I think it shined the most through when you said you wanted to throw the egg in that guy's face.
I laughed so hard.
fuming inside. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like, I just want to throw these eggs in your face.
and yeah, that was intense.
No, the whole thing was.
Yeah, the whole thing, and that is the race. That is what it is. Is like it's just trying to get you into a stressed out situation so that you act irrationally and then make stupid decisions, like not checking your eggs after you just pole vaulted over which you didn't check your eggs either, but you didn't even like touch them to the ground. I guess you kind of checked them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was definitely in had a lot of blind spots going on. And also I was nervous about Floyd. Like, he was being pretty quiet. And I was like, is he dying? Like, is he okay?
Like on the bike, you're saying? Like when you're pedaling? Yeah, because you were in front and he was behind.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm just focusing. And I was like, okay, like... just anything's helpful for me. I'm just such a verbal communicator, like just to know like he's okay.
Yeah, because otherwise that's added stress when you're already stressed out. Like what's going on with him?
And I think he was nervous about being on a bike, but ultimately like that wasn't a problem. I think it was just there was a lot of stress of knowing. We also got so lost on the way to the detour. We took like the scenic route.
That's what I was going to ask you. So did you guys broke off on your own to go like on the route that you guys thought was the right one, but you guys went on your own. You weren't trying to like follow anybody.
Yeah, well, so that brings up like there's a few moments from that day that stand out as like what I hold to me is like my big mistakes and kind of what I'm trying not to beat myself up about so much, but to learn from. And one of them was that moment we got directions right out of the gate before everybody, and they were bad directions to go across the bridge and turn left. And Colin like reaches out his loving, helpful hand. Hey, we're getting directions right here. Why don't and you hear me, don't stop.
Yeah.
Such a competitive a-hole. And like had we just been like, oh, Colin, let's just hang with this crew, I think the entire it would have been totally different. And that is another way that like my entire perspective around the race has changed, where it's like it doesn't hurt to like join forces with other teams, like propel each other forward. It's fine. Like
that's what I was saying,
too. There's so much
in
a day.
Yeah, for sure. Because when you're by yourself, even driving, pedaling, whatever it is, you're just completely on your own, to where we split off from the group and just decided to do the other detour, which was stupid in itself.
Yeah,
because,
that's another reflective moment for us.
Yeah, like we were like, we should have just stayed, because then, like looking back, we would have been with
Colin and Christy and Tyler
and Corey. So we probably would have just been in line with them. Vic wouldn't have been tired. He would have been able to put the cow up, and we would have probably never got U-turned, and then you would have really never got U-turned type thing. So it's just like this whole, you just look back on it and you're like, why did we think we were like good enough to split up from them? Like, why would we do that? But I think it was like we saw the road. We're like, let's just do it. Let's get it over with. And we were kind of confident. But even like driving in the car, it's so helpful when you have another team where like, because at least you have someone there with you that's four brains, and also you're competing with them at that point.
Yeah.
So it's just, we reflect a lot, because it was had you guys not broken that egg, like we got lost for an hour and a half on that 2-seater bike.
Yeah, that's something that kind of glazed over, is that you guys had finished your the pole vaulting, right?
Second detour before we
You had finished your second detour before we even found ours.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was crazy to think that. And we didn't even know that you guys, I didn't notice. Nicole noticed that you were heading back towards that detour area.
Because Vic was giving up. Like when he was putting
I wasn't giving up.
No, you just were so tired. You were so tired.
Don't put that. That's that. Yeah.
Okay, but you were right. He was so.
Ain't nobody giving up here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no,
I was just exhausted. I was beyond exhausted.
Yeah,
that's all.
That was a heavy cow.
Yeah, and he was just so tired to where he just laid on the ground, kept taking breaks. And then I said, Team Fun's behind us. Next thing you know, he got up, pulled that cow up. Like he just needed a little bit of. Like a little bit of a push, because when you feel like you're in the back and you're defeated and he's tired, and you just, even like just saying anything just to like get him up, because there's no way that I could have hoisted that cow. Like, oh my gosh, that was tough.
Yeah, it was surprisingly challenging as far as like physical challenges go. And it is like being in, like knowing like, wow, I'm in last and I don't want to be that team that's like, it's over, like it's done, because that's such a thing about the Amazing Race, is never give up. You literally just don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to not like start to just get those hopeless feelings, and then that affects your energy levels, and then like you're obviously not enjoying it at that point.
Yeah, you're just frustrated.
Like, this is just like that boat ride through the canals. I was like, this is the most slow motion, depressing loss ever. But then there was like some hope, because I mean, the Afghanimals were like lost in the canals.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh my god, we actually might be in this.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we kept singing "That Hope Be Dope," "That Hope Be Dope," and we were like, wow, like maybe it isn't. And that's why, and then we're like, yeah, it's not our destiny to lose. Like we're not in it to lose. And that's why I was like, still like pretty surprised at the mat. I was like, there's no way we lost. Like, get something, just give us something, Phil.
and I wish they did a better job showing about how slow those little boats went, that it felt like you were inching by like a snail. And I can't remember how many times Nicole asked me, are you giving it full throttle? And I'm like, babe.
Because I didn't think we were going to make it to the island. I was like, we're going backwards.
I was like, if I turn this thing anymore, I'm going to break it. Like,
well, yeah, and we realized, like, because stuff like mud and gunk would get stuck in the propeller, and there was at one point someone was like, yeah, you need to clean that out. And we did end up going significantly faster after we cleaned it out.
Yeah, we needed to clean ours.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then we were in that boat for like who knows how long, over an hour, and then we had to pee so bad. We had to pee so bad. You can see us kind of like doubled over walking to the mat, and then before we were like, I'm sorry, we cannot even be at this mat right now. We have to pee. And so before it, like Floyd like dips into the water, pees in the water, I like cut in front of the porta potty line and peed in the porta potty, and they're like, okay, now we're ready to get our asses eliminated.
And well, for me, my legs, and I told Floyd this, but my legs cramped up. Like as soon as we finished with the cow and I was trying to bike to the cars, there were like 2 stiff logs. I had to get medical to get me electrolytes and all this. And, yeah, and then so driving, that wasn't too bad because, you know, I was just driving. But when we got to the boats, and I was like, oh, thank God it's just boats, right? But when I got to the mat, like when I went to get on the island, I couldn't walk. And when I got to the mat, they're like, Victor, you got to stand up. And I'm like, I can't. That's why my face, that's why my face was just so like, just teeth showing, because I was in so much pain. Like the sun wasn't in my eyes. You know what I mean? It was just like, it was bad. But
hydration is real. And we were, good job, y'all. That was a real leg. Yeah. That is for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of biking,
and it goes to show like the difference between the people in, you know, in the upper 3 or, you know, whatever, how happy
that was. Like they're like happy go lucky, like woo.
It's great. It's such a nice.
It's easy to be like happy and fun when you're in the beginning of the pack. Like I realized that like I can relax a little bit and smile a little more, but when you're in the back, it's like, oh my God, like
survival mode.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So how do you compare this to the first season you did, season 29?
Well, just being able to do it again and like having so many unknowns knocked out of the way of like, what is the Amazing Race actually like? What is it like to be on screen and then see myself on screen? And what is it like to also just developing a relationship with Floyd and like knowing how we work together well? Like that was all happening so fast in season 29. And then 2 years later, 2 years stronger, wiser, like hopefully, and more connected with Floyd and having a better idea of like how we want to race and what, I think we were just more comfortable, and so a little able to, and more able to enjoy the experience, but I think more competitive. Yeah, it was a more competitive crowd. Like I think the first time we're like we can beat all these teams, no problem. And this time it was, wow, this is real. And the first time we were super socially unaware of like everything that was going on between other teams. We were just totally playing our own game and really not socially aware. And this time when we actually got some like advice from Scott, who won our season, who was playing a really strong social game, that we should have our head in the game a little bit more socially and be more engaged and play it a little more. Yeah. And so we did, and that's probably how we got a little involved in some drama. Which, Nicole, we like, I don't even think we've talked about it. Yeah, like that day you came up to us in the airport and you're like, do you want to U-turn us?
Oh, yeah. I was like...
we were like, what is going on? Like, we just made this secret deal over beers. Like, it was this perfect plan. And now Nicole is like, with her little sweet eyes, like, wait, what is going on? And we were like, no,
not at all.
Not.
And then at that point, it couldn't happen, right? At that point, it's like, well, now that's out of the...
Well, I honestly didn't know if they were telling you the truth just because I thought we were so close. And so then I was just like, I knew that you guys had like a thing going on because they U-turned you. And I was like, why would they tell you that? Like, you guys aren't even friends. So I was like confused. And then now looking back, I was like... Yeah, well, it probably did save us, but I really thought genuinely like that I believed you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like in reality, I was definitely gunning more for Colin and Christy than you two, but like you were more of a threat too because you and Colin and Christy were working together so much. And so you were building each other up into really strong, threatening, like what felt like threatening teams. Mm-hmm. And then during that U-turn vote, we actually wanted to disprove to you or prove to you that we didn't want to U-turn you.
Right.
Wow. In reality, that would have been the right thing to do.
Exactly, because we probably would have been out having to do two things and the flags.
But who knows? I mean, the apple, it's like, it was just the apple, really.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And I really think you guys, because up until this last episode, you guys were never, I don't think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys were pretty strong this whole race.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys had a strong showing up to this, you know, which, you know what I mean? Like, that, I commend you guys for that, because we had our share of, we were last, not making the flight, you know?
Right.
Yeah, well, we definitely learned from that first time, especially around recognizing when big decisions were getting made and, like, trying to really intentionally slow down, take a deep breath, and recognize, and that's why on our fundometers, the blue zone was Tranquilo, because we were like, okay, we got to be Tranquilo sometimes and just recognize this is a decision point. So we try and like have these little like reminders just like plopped into like the chaos, just to remind us like, okay, roadblock, deep breath. Let's make a good decision here. And okay, direction, left or right, deep breath. Are we sure we want to like trust that person or whatever? And then I think, by leg 10, you get so sucked in the competition, all the teams are together and you're running, it's like all the stress.
And everyone's also, just really good at this point. Like it was very intimidating for us to be with, we were with 4 really cream of the crop race teams and we're just like, I mean...
Yeah, we're the only non-race team here.
So I know, like, it was like where I felt, and I knew you guys were all race teams, so I was like, well, maybe they're, you're worried, like, what if they just help each other and whatever. But we worked with Chrissy and Colin, we worked with you guys, we worked with everyone, so we were, like, hoping it wasn't like we're the outcasts, but it felt like it even though, because we were just Big Brother, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
So...
And that's... Yeah. And that's part of it.
So, Becca, now I want to do this thing with you. It's called Weird or Normal, right?
Weird or normal. Weird or normal. Definitely weird.
Yeah. So a lot of times it's something like, leaving the butter on the counter or going to sleep with dirty feet or, whatever. But this time I wanted to do a little bit different. So, is clapping weird or normal? And let's just think about this for a second, right? So as a society, we have all agreed that when somebody does something, or a set of people or whatever, does something good, we make this noise
Yeah.
as the utmost approval. Doesn't that seem kind of weird?
Yeah, but it's also, I think, probably pretty, like, even tribal. Just, like, how do you make noise with your body in a rhythm? I think that's probably pretty
That's the only
ancient human practice, is, like, how do we show appreciation? Okay, we can communicate with our bodies and our voices. So we yell and we stomp and we bang our limbs together.
Yeah. I just...
So it does seem weird.
Because then you stand up and clap, and it's like, wow, you really just blew it out of the water now.
Yeah.
You get a standing ovation, like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay.
It feels different, though, when you're on the receiving end of it, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was a little weird. But I guess, yeah. I mean, how else would you? Same Nicole was saying, like, the thumbs up. Like, who came up with, like...
The thumbs up, yeah.
Like, that's good for you, thumbs up. Like, oh, that makes me feel good. But who the heck came up with that? You know,
and then
why
the
isn't it
middle finger's bad?
Yeah, why isn't your index finger like that's good? You know, like, let me.
Yeah, that's true.
That is peculiar. I would. That's a good question. Weird or normal? Both.
Yeah, it's weird.
Everything is weird because, well, everything's normalized because it's just what we live in. But then, it's weird how it all came to be.
Yeah. Becca, can you do a freestyle for us?
My god!
Can I put you on the spot like that, or is that?
Oh yes, you can. I was working with a friend all day a couple days ago, and I got him into freestyling. We freestyled all day, and it felt so good. Freestyling is just the best. All you listeners out there, get yourself a Freestyle Beats album, kick that on when you're in the car, when you're with your friends. This is the way, people.
I freestyled with Becca before I knew who Becca was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was at like a charity.
You're so good. I forgot about that. At Hearts of Reality.
Yeah, when there's a time and place for me, I don't do it all the time. I get so embarrassed sometimes. I have to be with the people, around people that appreciate it, you know, and do that as well. But yeah,
you also freestyled on the train to Grindelwald.
Yeah, yes, I did. But if you could, would you like to grace us with an acapella freestyle? Yeah.
See, I'm here with Coco, Nicole, and Victor, and this is it. Yeah, you get the picture. It was an elimination episode last night, and it was okay because I feel all right today. I realized a blessing it was, so here we go. Up in the cuz thing. Did you see Floyd's freestyle at the end? You're on fire, and then Kajeeple.
Yeah. You know, and anybody that wants to learn to freestyle, the first thing you got to do is take out that feeling of embarrassment that you get sometimes, you know, and it just becomes so much fun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you're going to probably say something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we're all humans.
Yeah.
Right.
We get it.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you so much, Becca.
Yeah, you guys were so fun to race with. Thanks for
Likewise.
for everything, for the airport downtime, for the help, for just
Juggling,
the smiles,
hacky
the laughs,
all that.
Being around you guys made our time a lot more fun. But yeah, no, really.
Likewise, yeah, you two are really fun to race with. And yeah, like just helped kind of break down the stereotypes of what a Big Brother team might be like. You know, you two are really sweet, genuine people, and you can see it on the screen. Everyone I talk to who watches says that and is like, wow, I just love them. I want to be friends with them. Were you friends with them? Like,
we get the same with
sweet.
You too. They're like, we love Team Fun.
Yeah.
We get like this is the first week that we got so many comments that were like, we're happy you're in, but we're so sad about Team Fun. Like people who are like rooting for us, but like, but we really wanted Team Fun to stay too. Like, do we have to pick? So you guys, obviously you were back for a reason because you guys are super great, and you never know, you could be back for a third time.
Yeah, you can.
You'll never know.
And you and Floyd stay. You guys both live in Denver, so you guys like keep in touch. Oh, in Boulder. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but you guys still keep in touch, and do you guys like think about your third time, and like do you still live your life of if this was Amazing Race Challenge?
Yeah, I definitely keep it in mind. And I think my whole mindset around how the race, like I said, about being like an independent team. And I also actually really want to write a book about how the Amazing Race is a microcosm for life. Because, yeah, like in life, we also try and like live our autonomous lives and be super independent and not really ask for help or work with other people when we can, just like depend on ourselves. And on the race, it turns out it's like all you got to do is get to the final 3. It doesn't matter how you get there. If you propel each other forward, then do that. Mm-hmm. Just get there. Don't have to be so competitive and like threatened by other people.
Yeah, that is very true.
It's easier in hindsight, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hindsight's always 20/20. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I love you too. Thanks for the interview.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And
are you going to finale? Sorry.
Yes, I'll see you next week.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay.
All right, much love. Bye.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation we had with Becca and Floyd.
Yep. Hopefully.
And now we will. Well, so we mentioned the finale party. So we're all meeting up next week. Vic, tell them a little bit about the finale party because it's open to the community.
Yeah, actually, just stay tuned on our social media. Like, you'll listen to this, and then we'll have it posted on our social media. Basically, we'll be in Dallas, Texas next week for the finale of The Amazing Race, and Travelocity is actually hosting a finale party, which is open to the public, and Nicole and I will actually be doing a Coco Caliente.
Our first live podcast. So everybody's welcome to join. It's going to be first come, first serve for seating. There's no tickets or anything like that. But we're going to do a giveaway for 5 of our listeners that live in Dallas or in that area that want to come, and their guests to, have, reserve seats. And then you guys can meet us and basically get like a little VIP package. So be on the lookout for that on our social media, and big ups, shout out to Travelocity. Thank you so much for putting this together and for supporting us. Like we've said before, you can go anywhere that we've went to on the race, and you can find that on Travelocity.com/amazing destinations, and they'll give you the best prices, best deals, no hassle at all. And they have the locations that we went to, and you can book your travel through them. That's Travelocity.com/amazing destinations. Yeah, they're actually we booked through them we're going to Barbados in like less than 24 hours.
Yeah,
so their stuff is great to like. It's really easy. Victor just did a little birthday weekend getaway for me, and it was really easy to navigate through their stuff.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Travelocity, for helping us make that happen on our flight over there to Barbados. It's going to be fun. And now, as we always do, because we love you guys so much, anybody listening out there, big hug from Nicole and I. We're going to read our reviews. We really appreciate it. It propels us forward, and the more we, put into this and what the feedback that we get back, it just feels amazing. So, Nicole, take it away.
This one is from Simone 99999. 5 stars. Love this podcast. I've never seen Big Brother, but I heard Nicole on Off the Vine and I really liked her. Then her and Victor were on my TV for Amazing Race and I loved them both. Just finished catching up on their whole podcast library. And now I'm a little sad I have to wait week to week. I also like trying to guess a Spanish word of the day and feel really happy when I know the word. Keep up the awesome podcasts.
Ooh, that's awesome.
We got to do a Spanish word of the day.
I got to do a Spanish. So you know what? We'll do it right now before I read my review.
Okay.
The Spanish word of the day is bicicleta. Spanish word of the day is bicicleta.
Bicicleta?
Bicicleta.
What does that have to do with?
Has to do with this last episode of the race.
Oh, bicycle, 2-seated.
It's just bicycle. Yeah.
2-seated.
So bicicleta means
it
bicycle.
Does sound like bicycle. I should have gotten that faster.
I almost, I
was thinking Barcelona, but I'm like, that doesn't change.
Barcelona. No, I almost didn't do it because it sounded very similar, but I was like, you know what?
Sometimes you trick me like that.
Yeah, so bicicleta means bicycle.
Like a vaso, I say vase. Too similar, but it's a cup. Anyways.
I almost did huevo, but you should know what huevo is.
Wave?
Huevo?
A wave.
Egg. Because you guys say, so the American way of saying huevos is huevos.
Huevos.
Yeah, because there's an H in there. But the H is silent, so huevo.
Huevo.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll read my review now. So there's your Spanish word of the day. Thank you for reminding us in your review, Simone. So this one is comedy plus love equals wonderful listening by Lizzie.
5 stars.
5 stars as always. I have just finished listening to every episode. I put my other podcasts on hold to binge every second of Nick and Vic. They were with me working out, on the bus, and in the grocery store. They are more genuine than other podcasts and have to cope and discuss with more real world and daily issues. I love how open they are about mental health, and they are not preachy as other podcasts are. Their love for each other comes across on the podcast and makes me smile and lets the conversation flow that much better, making the listener laugh more often than not. I agree with Nicole more often than not on Weird or Normal, despite being an East Coaster. I cannot wait for what the next episode and all Nick and Vic have to bring.
Yeah, we never know. We're just pretty normal, and then once in a while we get a cool opportunity, and we're just like, let's do it.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you for that sweet review.
Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So you want to, Nicole? I want you to close this one out. I want you to do the whole. You can listen here. You know, go ahead.
Okay. So thanks so much for listening, guys. Obviously, if you're listening, you can listen to where you found this podcast, but don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. We are on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. Also, you can go to our website, www.cococalientepodcast.com. We have we have merchandise, and then we have all of our episodes there as well. Victor wants to come out with some shirts, and I feel some type of way of selling shirts because I feel like, okay.
I don't want to come out with shirts.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you did the Bring Us In Babe ones.
Oh, we can.
Oh, never mind.
We can come out with shirts.
I thought you said about that.
Oh, if you want to come out with shirts?
Yeah, well, my friend Nicole made some cute ones. Okay, fine. We both want to come out with shirts.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we just want to put them on our website. So we're never going to really be like, hey, put it on our media. But every once in a while, maybe check our website. We'll put on here when we put up new merchandise. But it's been the same for a while. Just so that way, like when I really love a podcast like Dax Shepard's, I love to drink an Armchair Expert mug.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're just doing here.
You drink the mug?
Yeah, I drink the mug.
You drink from the mug?
I drink the whole mug. You're such a jerk. I did really good closing us out, though.
You did. You did a good job.
I did so good that I panicked and I had to ruin it by bringing up shirts. That's just what I do. You know, in the diary room, like on Big Brother, that's what I would do. I would say something really good, and then I would just say nonsense right behind it so where it couldn't be cut. So it's used. Like, okay, let's redo that. I'm like, what? I nailed it, but I get the nervous talk a lot.
No, you did great. You did great, baby.
Oh, crap.
I hope everybody enjoyed. You guys have a good rest of your weekend, and thank you so much.
Thanks.